Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Blue Podcast Network. This is the Green Show, your home of EFL football on the Blue Podcast Network, and it is our penultimate episode, or is it third?
We're going to do some playoffs or not.
Yeah, we will have to do a review at the end actually, so it will be third from last. We've got next week, which will be the last preamble. In 2 weeks. Last little preamble when we look into the playoffs, and then one more episode after that, and that will be our season review of the EFL this year. What a season it's been, boys.
It's been incredible.
It's
The championship is so good.
And still going into the last day this weekend is still incredibly
Everything's up for grabs.
Apart from the automatic race.
Yeah.
And one relegation spot.
But then again, you've still got a title race.
Or two relegation
Yeah,
spots.
title
exactly,
race.
yeah.
And two teams that could get over 100 points. Well, not over, just 100
I don't
points.
think there's a single game in the EFL this week really that's meaningless. Well, there's a couple maybe, but there's barely any that are meaningless.
Yeah.
They all have something on the line.
I think we should start by saying commiserations to Leeds and Burnley for your relegation from the Premier League next season.
I've already said this, that they're going down no matter what. It doesn't
The
matter
difference is I'm joking. Burnley will get relegated, but Leeds will step.
I think
because Wolves get relegated, and they'll go back to League One and then League Two.
Are you still this Wolves?
When are you going to give up on
He's already sworn
Wolves?
within 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, no.
Team with the best form in the league.
Yeah, you realise that sorry, not just the league, in all of Europe.
In all of Europe.
They've won 6 in a row.
Anyway, boys.
I refuse to be wrong about this.
Right,
let's go back to Championship.
But yeah, Leeds are currently top. They got Plymouth away on the last day.
That's kind of done, isn't it?
I see them losing because Plymouth have to win to stay up.
No, Plymouth, mate. Have you not?
Well, to be fair, it's goal difference.
Plymouth need a massive goal swing.
Leeds are going to win. Plymouth are going to win 13-0 against Leeds. Heard it here first.
Oh, here we go.
Imagine that would be the biggest match-fixing scandal of all time. Oh,
a few years ago, was it Bristol Rovers stayed up because they had to score 7 goals against Scunthorpe?
They went up, didn't they? They went up. Elliot Anderson scored that day, actually.
Oh, for God's sake, every time.
But Burnley play Millwall, who are still fighting for playoffs, so I do see Leeds winning the league title. And can I just say, we told you so. You did say that Leeds weren't going to go up. How do you feel?
At one stage, it looked very much in doubt.
Yeah, because it was in doubt.
How do you feel now, though?
The problem is, right, Leeds bottled it, but Sheffield United double bottled it.
Yeah, Sheffield United.
They've ruined us.
Oh, yeah, they're awful. There's no way... I mean, I'm going to look stupid saying this now, but there's no way they got up for the playoffs. They're completely out of form. I don't see them going up for the playoffs.
It never is that third place team. It's never. This is why Leeds didn't go up last year because they finished.
So congratulations on Sheffield United now winning the playoffs. Now we've said all of that.
I tell you what, I can't stand Chris Wilder.
You can't stand anyone.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're always whinging about somebody.
Chris Wilder, one of the most arrogant managers I think the Championship has ever seen. I know you could say you need some managers with a bit about them, a bit of arrogance, but the way he talks to journalists as well, I just can't stand the bloke.
Too big for his boots.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And he's giving it the big one. He's got Jack Robinson at centre back.
Yeah. Well, they have got the mighty Rob Holding though.
Oh, for God's sake! Every time.
Honestly, I just can't stand Wilder. I'm so happy they didn't go up.
But who do we think is going to win on the last day between Cov and Middlesbrough? Because whoever wins that game, if Middlesbrough win that game, they get playoffs.
I think
if
so.
If Cov win that game, then they get
Millwall and
playoffs.
Blackburn can also steal that spot potentially.
Well, yeah, but if Borough win, they give them... Well, you got to remember, Millwall playing Burnley. That's a very tough game. So I don't think... Because Burnley is still fighting for the title.
Well, who are Blackburn playing?
Blackburn...
Sheffield United away.
Yeah. So they've both got tough games.
But again,
Sheffield United haven't necessarily got anything to play for now.
No,
they've
so
come
exactly.
third.
I'd see Blackburn as a real contender, but
to me, it's between Middlesbrough and Coventry who are playing each other.
What if they drew though?
Then Coventry probably will go up, unless Blackburn or Millwall
Exactly,
win.
that's what I'm saying. So there could be an upset here.
But Bristol City can still slip out.
They can as well. Yeah, it could end up being like
because they've slipped up past 2 games, I think. Obviously,
but to be fair, they played Leeds.
It
got battered by Luton as well, which I was quite surprised by. Who might now stay up, which is incredible, by the way.
Yeah.
What a recovery.
We'll get on to the relegation, mate.
But Bristol City have to play Preston, so.
Preston who could get relegated, so there's a lot on the line for them as well.
A lot on the line.
Preston have loads on the
line. I think Bristol will get playoffs. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Sheffield United and Sunderland are 100% safe. I think Bristol are probably going to be okay, but if Middlesbrough win, they're my favourites just because their goal difference is so much bigger than everybody else's. Yeah. Like if
they've
it comes
only
down to
got
the wire.
one win in their last 5 games. Granted, they have played Leeds, Millwall, and Norwich.
Yeah, I remember Cover off form as well.
Yeah.
Are they that bad though?
They dropped a few points.
In their last 5, they've won
Who
2.
answers their phone in the middle of a podcast?
I didn't
by the way?
answer it.
No.
In their last
Tom
5, they've
Green.
won 2 though. Granted, both late on, but
I know
also cover at home.
I know Sunderland are safely in the playoffs,
Yeah.
but they've lost their last
But
4.
the difference is Cov have lost 2 games to 2 relegation threatened teams.
If you look at their home form, they've been very good at home. I mean, they lost to Burnley at home, but fair enough. Burnley are in the autos race, and because the game's at their place, I feel like they've got a better chance.
I think it's between Cov and Borough, because I think the other 2, Blackburn and Millwall, are just going to struggle, because I know Sheffield United are form. I can't see Millwall getting anything at Burnley. And then again, I can't... This Sheffield United Blackburn one's difficult because...
I see Sheffield United winning it though.
Yeah, because Sheffield United got that quality and they're going to want momentum going into the playoffs.
They need to win if they want to go into that last game, into the playoffs against whoever they're playing confident.
I think, like I said, I think it's between Cov and Borough. And I think Cov being at home and win would get it for Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have to win. I think it'll be Cov because they can draw. And
So who was Sheffield United playing last game again?
Blackburn,
yeah.
It's
See,
I think it'd be
the
Cov.
thing you've got to consider as well, if you're Sheffield United, is if you lose to Blackburn, there's a big chance that you're playing them in the playoffs. So you don't want to lose them doubly for that, because then you've just lost to them.
Yeah, but there's an advantage to that, because then you have a better understanding of their tactics and how they play and how they might set up against you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is some advantages to that, especially if you're a good tactical manager, which Chris Wilder is. Again, he's the best
He's
manager
not.
of those 3.
He's not.
He is.
He's not.
He is. But it's the battle of the English midfielders. It's the battle of Lampard versus Carrick, and it could go either way for me.
I'm praying for Borough. Don't want to
Please,
see
Borough.
Cov in the playoffs.
I think it'll be Cov.
It probably will be Cov.
Probably will be, but I
my
don't
head's
want it to
going
be.
Cov, my heart's going Borough. I think Cov have a better chance of staying up if they went up. I think Borough would go up and go down again.
Cov have no
I think the only
chance.
team I could see going up and staying up is Leeds. I know they're
No,
already
I'm not
promoted,
saying that they
but-
will. I'm not saying that Coventry will. They still have a poor squad. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, I reckon they'd give a better performance. They get more points than Borough would, because Borough's squad, I'd say, isn't quite as good as Coventry's.
I think Coventry would genuinely be worse than Southampton this year.
No.
Seriously,
No,
I
I
think
don't
so.
they would.
No, I agree. And that's not what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that because of bias. I genuinely think
You
their
sure?
squad.
Are you
I,
sure?
I genuinely think their squad would do
I'd
worse
agree
than
with
Southampton this
that.
year.
The teams that would go up and do it better than Southampton are only Sunderland, Sheffield United. That's it.
Can I just say though,
Yeah.
Sunderland are going into the playoffs off of
Yeah, lost
4
their last
defeats
4.
in their last
Yeah.
5.
Yeah,
and drew
Yeah.
the
that's
game
not
before
good.
that.
Yeah,
Although
that's-
the awards have happened, and Joe Bellingham has received Young Player of the Season.
He's not really
Which
done much in the last.
I feel like
couple
this
months.
isn't the year. He should have got it last year.
Yeah.
If he didn't get it. But
he's
you know,
had a great season though.
yeah.
He's had a great season.
Yeah, he was very good at the start, but as we were saying, though, Sunderland have completely fallen off a cliff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But
But
is it because they've confirmed playoffs? Like, do you
Maybe,
think they've
maybe.
taken their foot off the
Potentially.
gas.
It's weird that because there's normally one team in the playoffs who's coming into it in great form, but there's none this year. There's literally
Yeah.
nobody who's in good form.
and based on that, if you look at the quality of the squad and I believe the quality of the manager as well, I would go Sunderland as my favourites to win the playoffs.
Really?
Sunderland, I don't think so. They're just so out of
No.
form.
They are out of form, but so is Sheffield United.
I do think it'll be Sheffield United. I think their
I'm
quality
backing
will
Bristol
edge through.
City, personally.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. I like their squad, and I think out of the teams who are up there, they've done the best in recent months. And I like their squad. It's a bit biased maybe because I like them as a team as well. I don't really know why. I don't have a
I
reason for
suppose you
it.
just want to see someone different.
Yeah, I want to
in
see
the
someone
Prem.
different in the Prem, but as well,
It's obvious.
I just don't see Sunderland doing that well
Yeah.
in the playoffs. And obviously, if they finish 5th, as it looks like they're going to, they'll be playing Sunderland first in the semis.
Yeah.
So then it would be, I reckon Bristol get through that, and then the finals against Sheffield United or the other team, which I think anyone can win a final.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think you're going to have quite balanced semi-finals. It's not like one big team's playing another big team.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's going to be Sheffield United and Sunderland as the favourites to make that final, and that will be really interesting, I reckon, because they are two very evenly matched teams. But I just think there's a little bit more. I can't think of a logical word, so I'm just going to say vavavoom about Sunderland. That little bit of
I
like
don't know, though,
flair
'cause-
and excitement about them. Like I feel like they
It's a
could
young
turn
team-
up
it's a
and
young
start
team,
tearing
isn't it?
tearing Sheffield
Bristol
United
have a very young and exciting squad as well. If you look at some of the players
yeah.
they've got,
Do you know
like,
what Sheffield United? Do you know what Bristol City are?
Who?
They are
A football team.
Derby back from 2017,
No,
18 under
they're
Lampard.
nowhere near that
Yeah,
good.
no. There's
Derby
like
were
3 or
loads
4
better.
key players from Derby
Nah.
that are now at Bristol City.
2,
If
3.
you look at
That's what I'm saying. There's
three.
a whole bunch of them that are from that Derby team. It's very much the core of what that Derby
Yeah,
team
no,
was.
well, they've got
that
Max,
was the
they've got
Derby-
Max Bird. That's
Yeah.
really the only one I can
Max
see.
Bird, Jason Knight.
Oh, yeah,
and
fair
Hayden
enough.
Roberts. But
Exactly.
But,
But that's the core. That's the spine of the
It's
same
not.
team.
This
Naki
is-
Wells is so important to that
this
team.
is same Derby players that got relegated as well.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
But then you've got Anis Mahetmi off the bench, who's very good. You've got Scott Twine, who's a brilliant attacker, great
Yeah.
set
Oh,
piece
that's very
taker as
interesting.
well.
Is he on loan or is it a
Mehmeti
No,
permanent?
he's permanent.
Permanent,
Mehmeti
yeah.
starts, no?
Well, he hasn't started the
Did
last
Burnley
couple.
release him then? or
They've
was it
got
seven?
George Earthy, who I think might be on loan from
From
somewhere.
West
West Ham.
Yeah.
George Jeffrey,
But
West Ham.
he's been very good. Like they've got a good team. It's an
It
exciting
is a good team. I'm just saying a lot of them are ex-Derby players. That was all I was saying.
Unfortunately.
But it is
Yeah.
an exciting team, like your point with Sunderland, I think. But we
It is
probably
exciting.
need to move on from
Yeah,
the
speaking
Yes.
of Derby and
Do we
relegation
reckon they are
battles,
staying up.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Well, it would take
they're
basically
at
a
home
miracle.
on the last day. But before I think we get on to Derby, Cardiff City have been relegated.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
You were correct.
Did I
You were
not call
correct.
that?
You were correct.
I just
I
didn't.
saw it coming a mile off.
I just didn't
Because
think
of
it
Cardiff.
would happen. Like, it feels more weird Cardiff going down than Birmingham going down last year.
Yeah.
It feels so strange because they're a Premier League side. You look at Cardiff's squad, right? It's not. It should be higher.
But
I'm
this-
sorry, but it should be.
But this happened
Probably.
last year when Huddersfield got relegated, if you remember
Yeah.
rightly.
Yeah.
Like these
But their
clubs
squad
are coming
wasn't-
down, just plummeting.
Their squad could have been better, Huddersfield's. I think Cardiff's squad's a lot better
Cardiff's
than,
great.
than Huddersfield's is.
You've got good forwards in Callum Robinson and Salech.
Robinson
You've
is injured, though, to be fair. I think.
Yeah,
I was going to say, because literally that's what I'm going to say here, that the big names that you would kind of put with Cardiff
Yeah.
are not playing.
Like Ammar
And that's
El
exactly why.
El Ghazi's in that team.
How-
Chris Willock, who
Chris Will get a move.
he's quality, but his attitude isn't probably there at times.
But you can afford to get away with having someone with a bit of attitude, because that's what you want your number 10 to be, right? But you have to have a squad
You're just saying
around
that because
you.
Bruno Fernandes,
Well,
though.
no, but that is
And
genuinely the thing. If you look at like the greatest like 10/second strikers of all time, like you look at Eric Cantona, he was arrogant as hell, and that was fine.
Yeah, but that's because he was a world-class player.
Exactly.
We're on
Yeah, he could
about.
back it up.
Chris Willock.
I'm gonna say you can't be arrogant if you.
But
if
also,
you're
like-
League
He's just
Two.
compared Cantona to Chris Willock.
But Will Fish was always talented coming out of United Academy. You got Callum Chambers, who's there now, who's managed to save his hairline somehow. No idea how. Callum O'Dowda, who's always been quite solid. This guy, Perry
Perry
NG,
NG,
who's
NG.
Singaporean, who always like
Always been solid, hasn't he?
always been good. I've always like.
It's a weird,
I like him because his name's weird.
it's a weird situation, Cardiff. Going
They've
down.
got Ethan Horvath of ex.
He's crap. No, he's
Yeah,
crap.
he was quite poor in that
He's
game that I
awful.
watched the other day.
I don't know why, but in my head he played for Chelsea. I don't know why.
No.
There's another American. It's I get him mixed.
Slanina.
Salini,
Because he was
yeah,
at Chicago.
that guy. Yeah, exactly. So
Should we actually talk about the battle now, though? 'Cause
yeah, who do we reckon it's going to be? Because I reckon
Plymouth are down.
Plymouth are basically confirmed.
Yeah, I'd
because
say they're
they basically have to win 14-0.
You got to feel for Plymouth at this point because they've done so well to actually be going into the last day and not mathematically going down.
Everyone thought they were plumb last, and they're not the first team to get relegated.
If it
Yeah.
weren't for Luton beating Coventry, they were right in it.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
right
they were able to stay up for a season and they fought right to the very end. Like it's solid. They go back down to League One. And I could see them being contenders.
I like them as a team.
This
though.
is what happens when you appoint Ray Mooney. Just saying.
Yeah, he's not been a very good appointment.
I think that
at all.
might be him done now. I think he's going to go back
You
to
reckon?
Pundit. I think he'll get
I
done.
saw him got linked
He
to
doesn't need to.
Blackburn.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No,
I
I think
saw-
we've seen
who's
him
the
do it
other
with
one?
money. We've seen him do it without money. I don't think.
Apparently, Watford, he's on their managerial shortlist.
He
They get
ain't
rid of
lasting.
Cleverley.
He ain't lasting a week at Watford.
Good
he
Lord.
ain't lasting.
Jesus.
But the team that I want to talk about in this race that surprises me is Preston. They've come from nowhere to be in the position they're in because
Yeah.
when we were originally previewing the relegation battle, probably a month ago now, we were looking at the teams sort of thinking, there's about 5 in there, but they weren't anywhere near. They were like 15th or something, and now they're right in there. If they lose, Luton win and Hull win, they're
Yeah.
down.
And they're at
But
Bristol.
if you look back to January, wins against Norwich and Middlesbrough, and then points against Burnley, and now they haven't won a game since March against Portsmouth. Got knocked out the cup by Villa, and then Derby, Leeds, QPR, Hull, and now Plymouth are all beaten them.
Well, that Plymouth game's what's really thrown them, because if they'd not lost to Plymouth, they'd be safe by now and they'd be up by a long way, and that's a relegation rival.
But it's so tight at the bottom.
But I would also say it's very hard to look past Hull as the
Yeah.
clear candidate of who can go down. Which, again,
They're playing Portsmouth away final day, though, who have nothing to play for, so I do think they'll probably win.
The thing is, they deserve this for sacking Senior.
Yeah, that was
sick.
Look how well he's doing in France. He's just signed a
they
new
were
contract.
a playoff team, and now they are.
I know they lost a lot in the summer. They lost a lot of players, but
But the problem was, right, their model worked because it was, okay, we're going to go and get the best youngsters in the world on loan and push for promotion. No, you know what I mean, though. They went and got a whole bunch of really good loans because they thought, we'll give it 1 year, we'll get promoted, get that money, and then we can reinvest that into a squad. And it didn't work, it didn't go up. And now there's all those good players left, and now they're in the mud.
Yeah.
So I think,
Who are we saying is going to be...
Are we doing
the
our
team
final day
results?
predictions then?
I say Plymouth and Hull.
Well, I think let's confirm Plymouth. Everyone thinks
Plymouth.
but it's going to be Hull.
Oh,
I don't know, because I see them winning on the final day, and Luton play West Brom, which I can see them winning as well.
What's the points difference, actually?
It's 1 point between Hull and Luton.
I think we'll go with the fact they're both going to win. I'd go Hull.
There's
Derby
three
down.
teams on 49 points. So if Preston, Luton, and Hull all won, Derby would be down. If Hull and Luton
Derby
won
at
and
home,
Preston
though.
lost, they'd be down. And if Hull win and Luton lose, they're down.
I really thought Stoke might be in this relegation, but they managed to pull away at the last
Well,
minute.
if Derby, Preston, Luton, and Hull all win, then Stoke are down.
I still think that's a lot to
But
happen.
they're playing Derby on the final day.
Yeah.
I think we want an exciting finish, but I think it's going to be boring, so I'm going to go Hull.
I'm going to say Preston and be surprising.
I'm going to say Luton. I still think they go down.
No, I think that.
I want them to.
They've got the form. They've got the what's the word? I'm trying to think of it.
At West Brom,
Consistency at the
it
minute.
won't be easy.
Yeah, it won't. But West Brom have obviously. They still need to find their new manager. They won't have a good squad.
They've been out of form for a while now, West Brom.
They're taking Fuentes off of QPR, who have now placed him on gardening leave, so they won't have him for the final day of the season. So he's going to be in limbo for that game, which I think is a good appointment. Like he's a young tactical manager.
I like
Spanish
Fuentes.
man.
I like him.
It's a good move from West Brom. It's unlucky from QPR, but yeah, I think Hull might be the one, unless you think Preston are going to win.
I just think there's something surprising in there because as well, I see Hull winning their game. I can't remember who I said they're playing, but pardon?
Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth. I see them winning that, so I don't see Hull going down, and I see Luton beating West Brom because they got a lot to play for, and West Brom don't.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And I also think Luton currently are on better form.
Yeah, so I think
One
it
of the
definitely
last
could be
2 or
Preston.
3.
Yeah, well, it's for some reason they've finally decided, oh crap, we've got to start playing properly, and they managed to dig themselves out of this massive hole they've got themselves.
Yeah,
Speaking of relegation to a certain league, should we move on to that league?
yeah, League One.
League One.
You
There's
could have
not-
just said League One, but
Yeah,
okay.
shut up.
Sorry, it says you of all
Yeah, it says
people.
me.
There's not actually much to say
Keep
on
it
it,
simple,
really.
boys. Come on.
Obviously, Wrexham going up.
Birmingham have
Wrexham-
broken the points
Wrexham.
record.
Yeah, but we
Confirmed.
don't care about Birmingham.
But-
They can get rattled again.
Well, no, they've broken the points record,
I
which,
don't
to be
care.
fair, is a big achievement because it doesn't matter how much money you throw at it
Yeah.
to
Do
break a
that
points
well.
record, and they've only conceded like 16 goals at
I
home
don't
all
care.
season,
No,
Yeah.
which is
Not
very
a bit.
impressive.
Not a minute.
Are we
It's-
surprised that this has happened?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
we're not. So-
Can I just say, I've said this all season. I still think you're the one rattled by them than them being
How
rattled
can
by
I
you.
be? They're the ones that have commented on the post, bro.
Well, yeah, but
Have
you
they?
know
Well,
you're constantly talking
they've
about how
done
much
it.
they're annoying you.
Because we're on a podcast, Matt. Believe it
But
or
they've
not.
broken
We're
the
talking
points
about
record.
football,
Don't
Matt.
you think that's
and
impressive?
Birmingham are top of the league.
You're such a negative person.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't you
Yeah,
think it's impressive they've broken
miserable.
the points record? It's still impressive.
No.
They conceded 16 at home all
impressive,
season.
But what it is not is surprising.
It's not
We were
impressive.
expecting
They
this.
spent £40 million.
Exactly. They bought
Yeah,
Stanfield
but
for
the
10 million.
people who
Like,
held
20
it
million.
before.
20
it
million.
was not 20 million.
It was 20 million.
It was 10 million.
It
It was
was
9.8
20
million. I
million.
remember
The
it vividly.
The people who held it before though were Wolves, I think, who also chucked loads of money at it.
And
So to break the
But
points
that
record,
wasn't League One though. That was the
Was League One?
Championship.
It was
it's
League
League
Was it?
One. I'm talking about the League One
League
points
Championship,
record.
Yeah.
Damn. I did
And
not
but-
expect
But
that.
they've been very impressive all season. So
They
fair
have
enough.
been.
Fair
And
enough to Birmingham.
they will go up and they will be solid.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Mid-table, like
Yeah.
solid.
And Wrexham will now come up, which I also think is another team who'll probably end up being mid-table because they're going to chuck a load of money at it.
More money at it. Yeah, they've done it the opposite way around, right? Birmingham spent a whole bunch of money and got promoted. Wrexham got promoted and then they're going to spend a whole bunch of money.
The most obvious move in the whole of the EFL right now is if Sheffield United go up, Kiefer Moore is definitely going to Wrexham.
Do you think?
Yeah, 100%.
Ooh, that's a shout.
100%.
He's clearly not good enough for the Premier League.
Do you not
I've seen it
think,
two or three times
they
now.
could get Vardy?
He's already said he doesn't want to go to the Championship.
Why?
Because why would he leave us if he's just going to end up in the Championship anyway? That's what he said. He
I
wants to
thought
either
he'd
be
end
in the Premier League or in another league abroad.
He'll go America,
He
I reckon.
screams MLS.
Yeah, I've said that for ages, and I wouldn't be annoyed if he went to the MLS.
Do we know who's got the rights for him? Because it's
No.
weird in America. The weird thing is you can put players on your kind of like short list, of
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
and no one else can attempt to sign them unless they like pay you, which is really
Well, no,
odd.
they can if you try and negotiate with the player and they say no, then anyone can.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
until that happens,
It's discovery rights.
Discovery rights. Yeah.
That's it.
It's really complicated because Americans love to make things weird
That's
and
comparable
complicated.
to DC United.
Yeah.
They've got the discovery
Yeah.
rights for it.
They've also just the biggest youngster, Quinn Sullivan, has just signed for fucking Man City as well.
But what I would say though,
No,
is
Cal-
there was a shocking result though on I think it was on Monday. Charlton lost to Wrexham 4-0. Like I know Wrexham are good and all of that, and they were going for automatics, but you know.
to stick four.
To stick 4 past somebody who are fourth in the league, it's
and
impressive.
In form.
So it was 3-0, sorry.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say,
still,
I thought it was three.
that was on Saturday. But I felt bad for Charlton because they've been in such good form coming into these playoffs. They've now dropped to 5th.
They'll win the playoffs.
Do you think?
They'll win the
But
playoffs.
Stockport are in amazing
Stockport
form.
on great
Yeah.
form, and
Stockport-
also Leighton Orient. If we remember rightly, I've been raving about them all season. They've not slowed down. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Stockport haven't lost in a month,
scoring
though.
3 goals 3 times, 2 in another game as well.
This League One playoffs could be an all-time.
I think
Oh,
Stock-
100%.
I think Stockport are my team for it. I think they're looking very good. I want it to be Charlton. I like
I think it'll be
Charlton a lot.
Charlton just because of Nathan Jones.
But I do think
It's
Stockport are in the
mental.
best form. They're playing really well. They have Louis Barry as well, don't they? He's
No, they don't.
I swear he went on loan there.
He left in January.
He left in
mate.
January. He went to
That's
Hull.
right. Yeah, sorry.
Well,
I don't know what I'm about.
He's meant to be Green Show host.
I got it the wrong way
Don't-
round.
I'm
I
gonna
forgot
that's a
he
surprise,
left.
but okay, fine. No, I think they've got lucky Orient because they've got Charlie Kelman who can just score from anywhere apparently.
But I'd
on
also,
loan from QPR.
I was looking at this the other day. Stockport's story is very impressive because if you look 3 seasons ago, they were in National League. They've got I know they're not done back-to-back promotions
like
like
Wrexham.
Wrexham have.
It's gone under the radar 100%.
But yeah, they've been very impressive
But
these
they're-
last few seasons.
They are what 5 points behind Wrexham. They are on the same trajectory as Wrexham because they are 5 points behind them in the
I
same
mean, if
position.
Charlton had won, it would have been open on this last day of the season for an upset.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. I think the real upset has been the downfall of Wycombe Wanderers.
Yeah.
After losing 4-0 to Charlton, which might be where you're getting that from, and then 1-0 to Leighton Orient, that's just kind of bottled any chance of promotion.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm pretty
Um,
confident they won't be going up. I also think Leighton Orient probably won't.
I think Leighton Orient have got an
Well,
outside
mean,
chance.
tell you what,
Reading-
they've won the last 5.
Yeah, but-
This is what I'm saying. And
I hadn't realised
all
that.
season they have scored goal after goal after goal. It's been ridiculous.
But
They've been the
Reading-
biggest scorers in the league. It's
Reading
been
can still
mental.
get playoffs.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Final day.
Although Orient are away to Huddersfield and Huddersfield.
But the
have
thing,
lost
I
all
just
their
don't
last
see
5.
what are the final day matchups. So Orient have got to go away to Huddersfield,
Wickham have
Who've
to play
lost their last
Stockport.
5.
That's a massive game in
That is
terms
massive.
of momentum.
Reading-
and Reading are at home to Barnsley.
Who
So
are out of form.
they're in similar positions, Barnsley and Huddersfield, to be fair. But
Yeah.
Barnsley have got a new manager in Conor Hourihane, who's now the head coach, which makes me feel old. Actually, mental, ridiculous. But I just think Leighton Orient, with that better goal difference, I think they'll just have enough to squeeze through. I don't see. It's a
So who do you
plus
think's gonna win the
21
playoffs?
Charlton.
Right, here's what I'm thinking. I think Charlton beat Wycombe.
Yeah.
I think Leighton Orient beat Stockport. Massive upset. Like I'm talking like 4-3, like loads of goals, but they just edge it. And then I reckon Orient beat Charlton in the final. I'm going to back my boys.
I'm gonna say it's going to be a Stockport beat Charlton final.
Yeah, I
Stockport
think
are
the
going to
same.
win.
I said Charlton, mate.
All right,
You said
okay,
Charlton. I reckon
Ready?
Stockport and Charlton will be the
Stockport,
final
Charlton.
too.
But that's funny. The quality across these playoffs this season is mental.
But I mean, also we already kind of knew this, but
Yeah.
with the relegation battle in that league,
Burton.
Burton have now stayed up officially because they drew last night with Wigan,
Yeah.
and now
What
that
a-
the bottom 4 are.
What a
Set.
what a like.
Fair play.
That
predicted
is
it. I called it.
brilliant. That's
Yeah, but you
brilliant.
love Burn, like,
Not really.
just because it's local to you.
It's not local to me.
He lives down here, mate.
He does now, but
I know.
it's
I've
local
never
to
lived
Leicester.
in Leicester.
lived in
Never
Leicester.
lived in Leicester.
plastic fan.
I'm not my family are all from there.
Anyway, yeah,
No,
no,
that's really impressive.
it's actually they use
How many Man United games have you been to this season?
one.
Yeah, I've been to 3 of your games.
Shit. Shush. Anyway, that leaves confirmed relegation as Shrewsbury, Cambridge United, Bristol Rovers, and Crawley.
Yeah, which we kind of saw coming now, but it's kind of confirmed.
Yeah, this was the one relegation kind of bit that we were very comfortable in knowing what was going to happen.
League Two as well. So
Yeah. Should we talk about League Two really quickly?
Yeah,
Not as
still
much
the
to
league
talk
no one wants to win. Warsaw, though, can we just talk about them quickly?
well,
Because,
we've had some
we can't.
confirmed promotions now.
but how on earth have they not won since the 22nd of February? They were top of the league. They needed one more win
Yeah.
Was
to
that
confirm the
generally enough?
autos. 22nd of February was the last time they won a game.
So it's down to Bradford and Walsall on the last day for that last auto spot.
Yeah, but Warsaw aren't winning, are they? They've not won since February. They're absolutely awful at the moment. I don't know what's happened.
Donny and Port Vale are both up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the Bradford are pretty much. I'd say they are. I'm confident that they will get that third place spot. I mean, they've got a
Playing
guy.
Fleetwood, so it's quite an easy game.
It's quite an easy game.
And Warsaw are away to Crewe, who are, to be fair, in the mid-table as well. So they.
Yeah, but Bradford being at home.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look at the
Yes.
form as well. I don't have faith in Walsall to win that game, which is mad to say. So I reckon it'll be Doncaster, Port Vale, Bradford. Who have Notts County got on the final day?
I think they got a.
They've got
Didn't they still get
Doncaster.
autos?
No, they've got Doncaster,
Doncaster was second.
Yeah, they.
who are second. So
you know
First,
what?
sorry, first.
So
Notts County have better goal difference than Bradford. If Bradford and Warsaw both find a way to lose, Notts County get the last auto spot.
Please don't.
Oh, you make a good point.
Yeah, I only just
But
saw
the thing
that.
is, right, Notts County has to go away to Doncaster and do
They're
that.
not winning that, I
which
don't
is not
think.
going to happen. So I reckon it will be.
Well, then again,
Doncaster-
you
it'll
never know
finish the
because
way
they've
it
won the
is.
league now. So.
Yeah, but they won
Oh
the
no,
title.
never mind. They've not won the league.
Yeah, they won. the
Yeah,
title.
Port Vale can still win the league technically, but I don't see Doncaster losing that game.
Tell you what, Port Vale though, they did the absolute anti-bottle because they were top of the league. Then they bottled it, looking like they weren't going to get even playoffs, and now they're back into second.
Have you
seen-
They're going to get autos
Have
again.
you seen
Every
their-
time you back them, they've gone down. Every time you said they're
have you
rubbish, they
seen-
go up.
Have you seen that admin on X? He's like totally giving it. He's got
He
like
bookmarked
bookmark-
loads
he
of posts,
bookmarked
yeah.
loads of posts. It's brilliant. That's
Mental.
what we need in today's game, man.
Bit of
The-
classic
the,
football.
The playoff race is really good though because you got
10th.
up down to 10th could still get in it. I don't
10th
think Colchester are.
It's a bit of a stretch, but
I knew he was
Chesterfield,
going to look at when I said that name.
but Chesterfield have got a plus 18 goal difference.
Yeah.
So if they get any points in their, look at his face. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's mental. So like, if they get any kind of points on the last day, they could genuinely take that spot.
That could be
off of
back-to-back
Salford.
promotions. That's incredible.
And their game is against Accrington Stanley, who are down in 19th place. So you'd expect them to win that.
But then who have Grimsby and Salford got?
So Grimsby have to go to
Grimsby
Wimbledon,
have Wimbledon,
which is not easy.
They're out of form though. Wimbledon.
And Salford have Carlisle,
Wimbledon haven't
who
won
are
in 4.
23rd.
23rd, sorry.
So
Wimbledon haven't won in 4 though, so they probably won't. I know Wimbledon fans have not been happy with their sides entered the season because
okay, so we're happy with the top 3, and we're happy with Wimbledon, Walsall, and Notts County.
I don't know about Wimbledon. Like, they're really out of form.
No, I think Wimbledon.
Because
So that 7th place, right? With the options are Salford, Grimsby, Chesterfield, or Colchester.
Colchester.
I'm backing Grimsby.
I'll tell you what
No,
I'm
I'm not.
thinking. I
I'm
reckon that Salford will beat Carlisle on the final day, and then Grimsby will beat Wimbledon, which would leave Salford 6th and Grimsby 7th, and Wimbledon missing out. I think that will happen
Yeah.
think
because I think Wimbledon is just so out of form.
What do you think, Lenny?
Walsall, Notts County. I'll say Wimbledon, Salford. I'll say
How
Yes,
it
that.
is
it is,
now,
yeah.
yeah.
There was a team. Hang on, what was it? Yeah, I reckon Chesterfield are going to get in there just because they've got the easiest game on the final day against
No, they
Accrington. Yeah, do.
We do.
No, Accrington.
Salford
Oh no,
do.
Salford. It's Salford.
Salford, yeah, Salford.
Sorry, no, I agree with Lenny then. Yeah, Salford will get in.
Cool.
Just
Well, do we have anything else to say then? 'Cause
the teams coming up from the National League.
Barnet.
We should probably
Barnet is
Barnet.
confirmed.
just quickly touch on that because
Yeah.
it's going to cover us. We're going to cover it next
Also,
season.
I know we don't really cover the league, but did you not see the score between Boreham Wood and Dorking last night?
Oh,
4-3.
I
Dorking,
can't wait to see the
Dorking
Mark
was
White
3-1
video.
up,
In
and
the
they lost
81st
4-3.
minute.
It was the 97th minute or
The
something.
Mark White video is going to be an all-timer.
the
It's gonna
player
be
who
so
scored
good.
2 own goals
Yeah.
to put Dorking in the league scored a winner in the 98th minute or something like that. It was like mental. It was like Fuck you know. But let's quickly touch on National League, just because they're going to come up this season, so we're going to have to talk about them. Barnet are confirmed to be going up, which is fair play. They were the best team in the competition by far. Also, the Hive is a really good stadium. I wanted to go to a game next season.
But it's nowhere near Barnet. That's the only thing. Fans don't like it because of that.
Yeah, but it's just a nice stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Come on.
Yeah. We've got playoff teams of York City, Forest Green Rovers, Rochdale, Oldham, Halifax Town, and Southend.
So we can rule out the last one, I reckon.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, Ethan.
Do you know what? I would quite like to see Southend come up because
Southend definitely.
because they're an Essex-based team as well. It'd be good to see them back in the football
I
league.
want to see Gus Scott Morris in League Two. See how many he bags.
I mean, I'd say Forest Green Rovers, but they lost to Oxford City in the FA Trophy, so I don't think I could back
How
them.
long ago was that?
Still
How long ago was that?
basking for that.
Loving it. We got knocked out in the next round, but that's not the point. I reckon York. I
never backed the team in
It's
second.
boring, but I think York are just the best team left in the competition.
I'm gonna back.
They've got the investment as
I'm
well.
gonna go York.
Heavy investment.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna-
they haven't got to go through the playoffs; they get automatic finals, right? That's how it works. So,
Oh, do they? I didn't know that.
Yes,
Oh,
they'll-
fair
I think
enough.
they have a semi-final.
is it
Yeah.
Well, think how many teams there are.
second? Or third? Right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Cool. So
I
they don't
reckon-
play it off.
I reckon. Yeah, to be fair, probably York then. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think York. I think it's right. I see York beating Forest Green, and then whatever else that gets put in front of them. So yeah, I think York and Barnet are going to be in the League Two next season. We're going to have to talk about them
Sweet.
when hopefully they stay up and don't just go straight back down.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's everything for this week. Next week will be 2 weeks time. Sorry, 2 weeks time. We will cover the preview of the playoffs. No, not 2 weeks time.
It
Not
will
next
be
week.
It will be 2 weeks time.
I'm gonna tell you
He
later.
can't edit it.
2 weeks time.
All right,
2
come
weeks
on.
time. Let's outro
Interrupted
this.
my final speech. Why have you got your arm on my shoulder?
I don't know.
Oh, just
What
do
have
the
I told you about
outro.
the arm on my shoulder?
Just do the outro, mate.
I feel very uncomfortable.
Just
I
do
might
the
just- I
outro.
might-
This
go
is
now.
sexual harassment. This is sexual
Matt, you
harassment.
do the outro.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. I've got it. Yeah, next week we'll talk about the playoffs, do a little preview, do our kind of predictions. We'll walk our way through each of the playoffs and tell everyone who we think is going up and down. And then we will do our final year review and my sign-off as host of The Green Show, as I'm going to be passing the baton on to Matthew for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
Because I do the outros by now. They're
Yeah.
they're already finished.
Oh, no, because you're not going to be in the Premier League next season, so there's no point in being on Gold Show. So there you go.
Yeah, fair enough.
And despite how shit we are, we still will be. So there you go. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time for our playoff predictions and previews. And we'll see you then.